up there membership 10%. People I thought were Seminole no longer Seminole. I'd like to ask you, who here is only Seminole? Can't go nowhere else. Raise your hand. Very few of us. Very few of us. I'm a true Seminole by blood. It'll never change. I'll work hard for you. I want you to understand. I believe in our nation. I believe that we can strive and experience a great future. See that each one of our children, grandchildren, will be able to understand that we are able to look to the future, build a brighter future for our tribe. We don't need to look back. Let's look forward and advance. Thank you, people. Thank every one of our citizens of the nation for my time being here. Go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Thomas Palmer, and thank each and every one of you for being here. I'm the son of Tommy and Janice Palmer, grandson of Tom Palmer and Minta Wood. Even today, our abilities and accomplishments are measured against those of our ancestors. They've overcame so much for us to be here today so that we can choose our next leaders. Our leaders historically have risen from within, stepping up for a cause. John Jumper, Chief Choco, Alice Davis, even before removal, our war chiefs, their names echo through history. They resonate with our fighting spirit to this day. These chiefs were selfless, battle-hardened, experienced warriors that led us through thick and thin, always seeking peace and unity for our people. Today, we must choose experience over blind ambition and personal desire. We must have leaders that are adaptable, that are experienced, and have the spirit to lead us into the next generation. And this is why I ask for your vote. As the Assistant Chief, I will unite with our Chief and our elected tribal leaders to move forward. My relationship with Chief Choco, Assistant Chief Johnson, and Representative Yeslett is one of equal respect and understanding. A solid, unified foundation can only be built if the two chiefs are cohesive. We must use McGirt to strengthen our sovereignty. We must invest in our youth, our elders, and protect our women. We must preserve our traditional cultural grounds, revive our language, and support our churches. I've worked alongside our people for over 10 years, holding key positions within SINDOC, Gaming Agency, Gaming, and as a tribal program director for 3 administrations. And that's experience the other candidates simply do not have. I've been active in the Tuskegee Harjo Band for many years, serving as the assistant band chief, and as the chairman for the employee ecos. This experience will positively impact the future of our nation. Our children are a reflection of us, and they should not have to inherit the same obstacles that we face today. So I challenge each and every one of you to be involved in your bands, to affect change, to affect decisions. That's the only way that we are able to move forward. You know, our elders, they always speak of passing the torch to the next generation. And I stand here before you, ready to take on the responsibility of this nation. Remember, real experience matters. Real leadership matters. The assistant chief must be capable of carrying the weight of the nation if the need arises. And I will honor your vote.
Hello, my name is Jaisha Lyons-Echohawk, and I'm running for Assistant Chief of our tribe here. My mother is Marsha Jones Chapman. My father is J. Lyons Jr. I am Tom Pomerband and Deer Clan. I also descend from Della Coker Jones and Herman Jerry Jones. I am one of the youngest candidates up here. I am somebody who has been active since birth, really. I listen to stories that my grandma, Della, shared with me regarding just her experiences as a Seminole woman, Creek woman at that, but she really was proud of her identity as being Seminole. She taught us language, she taught us just her grit, really, that helped shape the foundation for me to take this opportunity to serve the people of our tribe here. By way of work, I am a birth worker, which is like a birth doula. I'm also a student midwife, and I'm a grad student at the University of OU, the College of Law's Master of Legal Studies, Indian People's Law. So basically a legal scholar in Indigenous People's Law. I have worked through the last couple years as a community organizer, both on issue-specific campaigns such as the census and Native to Vote. Some of y'all have seen some of these around. In fact, our election board has used some of our posters on our Get Out the Vote message to our people, and that's something that I'd like to bring to our tribe. I have legislative experience in addition to community organizing. I have worked with some of our state legislators at the Capitol to address the missing and murdered Indigenous people crisis that we have on our hands. With that experience, it taught me to really engage back and forth with folks that I might not politically align with or even culturally align with, to address the crisis that really has plagued Indian country since colonization, since contact. I'm a mother. I have a blended family. We have 3 of our children here, and have been active in their lives as well. They are really what feeds me to do this work, to look at the future that is before them. As somebody who does live outside the tribal jurisdiction, it's been hard to get a lot of information just feeding to us, to our family, and from visiting with some of you through before the course of this election, before the course of this campaign. That's something that's missing, and it's something that I really have experience and knowledge in. I'm able to bring communities together, to build bridges. It's something I look forward to doing alongside the principal chief. To me, that's something that is largely missing from our tribal council as well as the community as a whole. We could have used a lot more messaging regarding this COVID-19 pandemic and the distribution of funds. We could have used a lot more information regarding immigrant ruling, what that means for our criminal jurisdiction. There's just a lot of information that was kind of left out, and I can see how that causes doubt and dissension in our tribe, and it makes us feel like maybe we're living under a shadow of operation, but we're not. We're living under, the government of the Seminole Nation, and that's something we should be proud of. That's something that I want to help restore your faith in our bureaucratic processes. I also want to reshape, reform, and assess some of those processes as well. So thank you.
Hello everyone, Jeff Marjo. I'm the current council representative for the Eufaula Band. 20 years ago, when I was a young guy, I'm still a young guy, but 20 years ago, I ran for assistant chief. And back then, I thought I knew everything there was about being an assistant chief and, everything about tribal government. But I didn't. And now here I am, 20 years later, still looking the same, a little bit of gray hair, but I'm still basically the same guy, but with more knowledge, more experience. I've been on the general council for 12 years now. And with that, you gain a lot of experience just by working with your fellow council members. A lot of times we don't always agree on the council. But then, the way I've always looked at it is that, once that council meeting is over, we're still tribal members, we're still friends. And, I've never held a grudge or anything, about someone voting differently than I did, because we listen to our bands, and our bands tell us how to vote. And although sometimes, when I voted, I didn't really agree, but, my band told me that's how you should vote, that's how I did it. I can talk about all the many jobs I've had. I started out as a radio DJ way back in 1976. I worked through television engineering. Did that for, up until 9 96. And then, I decided, I've been living different places, Albuquerque, New Mexico, up close to Stillwater. I decided, I decided, I'm going to help my tribe, because I got my education, through BIA, and so I decided I'm going to help my tribe. So I came back here, fall of 1996. I was the first historic preservation officer. I worked there about 4 months, and then I got the call to be the communications director for Seminole Nation. And the only reason I agreed was because I could be back on the radio again. And I really enjoyed being on the radio. I was able to communicate with our tribal members, and I had a good following. But, that was the first time I worked for a tribe. I worked for my own tribe. Then I worked for the absentee Shawnee tribe. I worked for the Kickapoo tribe, and most recently, I worked for the Pawnee tribe as well. Most recently, I was working for the absentee Shawnee tribe again as a compliance director for the casinos. But, to let you all know, I'm a person that believes in teamwork. I believe that we all need to work together. Like I said, sometimes we don't always agree, but we all need to work together. And for me, whoever's elected chief, I'm going to work with that individual. And, I do understand the Constitution, and I understand that the chief is the one that directs the assistant chief on what to do. And I will do whatever the elected chief tells me to do. I will work with that individual, and I'll also work with our council and also our individual tribal members. I'm all about communication, and that's what we kind of lack with this tribe, with our own tribe. We lack communication, sorely needed communication. I don't like to talk bad about people because I wasn't raised that way, but, I just looked at the tribal newspaper and it could be better than that. I mean, when I was doing a newspaper, I had candidate bios in there, campaign letters. I was the person that was communicating to the tribal members, but sad to say, we don't have that communication now, and we really need it. So that's my goal, to work with the chief and to communicate to our tribal members. Okay, thank you.
Seminole kan halvoisi onnapen reittuivat. Tuo sako, tuo takahani, overios, tuo homman, optaa tikvin osimat. Pari halusin alei fittenai, man optaa otsaa palvaake, takkoja vaake, akvaaneemat. Se jokkusov, oman tulga, sakkivi, ivaaki maahen, overios tuoe. Nyt hankin akvaanen legeos, puhkaa pohjeus tome. Akvaanen ei veikite, pakoheesin legeimats, joko fatsan, joko puhkaa pohjeimats. Äädää seiden, joko kanavan saavuisteen. Ja fatsan, aviroskoon iskiitimats. Maan suhti sakkaa haanik, serofaga. Äädää seiden, sadimmin, taklideen. Kadan serofaga osin mou. Tää seiden aimats, ooka, takkinen Suomen askisimats. Se fikitään pafnin, jomu toovin tuohon lidege. Ahti, isat, silaksien. Joko sakka äänen viiva, assi tilos. Joka en sakki mua, itseeksi olos, silaksien. Täskitään ahti siiseä. Kisipadi, avilit leimats. Vat sofi huikutus tegeisen. Maa sofi hasi, ootaakaan, maa oomosen otsiloskeen. Sofi tukkusin ovaakis tegeisen. Vat hisatskaan, mat isolois tegeisen. Iski omalta, että tulee jaakin kuisleen. Takeikiren sajaiset, että tulee jaakin. Ajoaat se pakkin, sahahoja. Maa no keksee, fitten ahjet, akkovan ääneessä pakkeen. Aimen Did anybody catch that? Probably not, because our language is dying, and we're not doing very much to keep it. I went to the council and told them that we needed money for our department so we could save our language. Well, I guess it wasn't that important. I was a teacher in high school. I actually taught language. Matter of fact, I was the first person to be able to teach Muskogee language at public school and use it as a certified world language teacher. I was the first one from Seminole Nation. I know there were others that went into school and taught, but they were not world language certified teachers. I was the first one. In my life, I had done everything. I was been on the disaster relief team. We went down into the Gulf Coast. It was dangerous work. Before I left, the team leader said, if you're afraid to die, you better not go because this is dangerous. Well, nobody backed down. We all went. We worked down there for about 4 tutors, I think, we worked down there. I was on the Ada Boys and Girls Club. I volunteered there for about 15 years. I used to go into homes of our elders. I could sing native language. I could speak native language. I could go into the homes and I can give them their last rites. I can sing to them. And a lot of them love those songs, especially when they're on their last day. And so people talk about, we want to save our language. I've been doing it. I've been trying to do that. People say that we need to take care of our elders. I've been doing that. Me and my boys were out 2 lawnmowers, cutting grass for elders and doing things like that, things they need, fixing roofs and porches. Me and my boys, we do a lot of stuff. But I can't hardly go down because of this, 1 minute, okay. Was that a 1 or 7? But anyway, I got one of my former students in that here. I was so proud of him because he could sing our hymns. And I was so proud of him. We went to Northeastern one time, I took a big crowd, 35 or 40, I think it was. And we sang, we were supposed to do the lead singing for a summit. And they hadn't been singing very good up to then, but they got up there, and boy, they sang their hearts out, and I was standing there, and they kept smiling at me, looking at me. And I said, what is going on? And we finally got there and said, what's going on? Y'all was all smiling at me. They said, everybody came in at the back doors, they filled that whole backside up, and filled the breezeway here, and they were so excited. It made me excited. But I thank my minister. Yes?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thomas James Jehovah. I'm a member of the Garjo Band. I reside in Harlem with my wife, 25 years. My father is Tom Jehovah. My mother is Joyce Alexander. We as candidates will present the case, why me? The members will decide on July 10th on who shall have your vote. Hope after tonight's forum, you'll have you decide. I participate in tribal ceremonial grounds, and I think that gives me the ability to differentiate between the difference between tribal roots, government, and colonialized government. That's what we have right now. That is what we work under in our Constitution. So that gives me the ability to tell the difference between the two. But my wife, she belongs to Cold Springs. We believe in giving our children the opportunity to choose both. We believe that you should have the opportunity to experience both. See what makes you feel good. Because whatever makes you feel good is going to make you a better person. And that's what you should be. A better person, because we all want to make the world a better place for everyone. Taking a look at which candidates pursue progress and stability, I believe I have the upper edge. Which candidates have chosen to be vocal enforcing our laws, current administration, I believe have disregarded them. They're showing chaos. It's diminishing our ability to progress. Our laws are so committed, politically weaponized to serve the few rather than the whole. That's not right. I put my record of service as a legislator up against anyone. I sponsored a taxation amendment to add to the Constitution back in 2013, a sign of progress. That's the way I see it. tribal ordinance to raise our taxation fee from 5% to 8% back in 2018. A scare tactic was used. It's always used. It's always politicized to scare our members that this is going to affect them negatively. That is what holds us back from progress. Fear. Fear is always held us back. Fear is not a component of change. Courage is. Courage to have the ability to not use fear. So with that being said, I look forward to serving, if chosen by the people, to improve our situation, to tighten up our laws, to clarify our laws. That's the best thing we could give. It's clarification for the next generation, so they don't have the same interactions, the fighting, the disputes. We can move forward. We can put the foundation for them to build on. That would be my goal. Clarification of the laws to make sure that we don't continue to stay dormant in the same position as we have for the last 50 years. No progress whatsoever. I want progress, just like everyone else.
Educate, Stonewall, Charles Jeffco, Doe, Randy Northcott, Vigo Bucket, Ali Gibbs. Hello, my name is Randy Northcott of the Pleasant Grove and Bell Lakes Northcotts. I'm the son of Jane Coker Northcott, the daughter of Barney Coeasy Coker and Katie West of Seminole. I'm the son of Don Northcott, the son of Margaret Northcott Harden and Robert Northcott of Bell Lakes. On the voting ballot, my name will be listed as William Randolph Northcott II, just so there's no confusion. I was told to be listed by means of our driver's license, so a lot of people won't associate William with Randy. I'm of the Tuskegee Harjo Band and currently serve our members as assistant band chief. I've also acted as the band secretary as needed, and I'm with the band plan. My wife of 25 years is Kim Northcott. Kim is from Edmond, Oklahoma, and graduated from Oklahoma Christian University with her degree in social studies, or social work. We have 3 children. Our son Alex is a firefighter in Elk City. Alex graduated from Oklahoma Christian University in 2019 with his degree in sports wellness. Our oldest daughter, Mackenzie, who's with me here tonight, she just recently graduated from Oklahoma Christian University's nursing program. And she will be a nurse in Oklahoma City next month. Our youngest daughter, Haley Northcott, was recently accepted into the same nursing program at Oklahoma Christian University. I'm very thankful for the family and the life that I have been blessed with, because looking back at the 18-year-old kid I was when I went to high school here in Seminole, when I wanted to be a truck driver, I never in my wildest dreams would have ever expected life to turn out like this. I'm truly grateful. I grew up in PG and Barnum, and I graduated from Seminole High School in the spring of 1990. I didn't have any desire to go to college. I just wanted to get a job. I wanted to become a truck driver or work in the oil field like my dad, my brother, my uncles. But instead, Coach John Morris from Haskell Indian Junior College approached me after our state championship football game in 1989 and invited me to play football for Haskell. I was shocked. And I remember looking over my shoulder to make sure he wasn't talking to someone else. When he told me he was talking to me, I immediately said yes, signed the paperwork the following spring, and after I graduated from high school, I got a summer job in South Texas working for an offshore drilling company, so I could make enough money to take to college. I played linebacker for 2 seasons at Haskell and studied communications. After my second season, I worked for a year, saved my money again, and transferred myself to Oklahoma Christian University in Oklahoma City. There I studied English and education until I decided to study business. Oklahoma Christian is a private college, and it's expensive. So I go to school for a semester and set out for a semester to work, until I finally graduated from the organizational management program in 1990. In 1996, I formed Northcott's Limited Liability Corporation. And through that corporation, budgets and in law, or what I've done for the past 25 years. In 2019, I gave my son control of the construction business, and in 2020, he expanded the business to Elk City. Since 2018, I've worked for the Seminole Nation's procurement department as a Seminole Nation's procurement specialist. My primary duties have been to represent the nation's interest while designing and overseeing construction projects. As a result of my first procurement training in the spring of 2019, I was selected to serve on the board of directors of the National Native American Procurement Association by over 40 members of tribes from across the U.S. The NNAPA is a 30-year-old organization that offers training to all tribes in the U.S. to help them follow federal spending guidelines when they're spending federal dollars. 2020 was a rough year for us at the Seminole Nation. Many of us lost friends and family members. Finding a way to keep our tribal members safe once buildings were reopened to the public became top priority for my department. That fell to me. I assessed our facilities and immediately went to work on a plan to keep the public safe and to keep the employees of Ohio's traffic department safe. I would appreciate your